Hello, welcome back to Hey Alexa. This is a channel, if you're new here, where we talk all about anxiety, mental health, and consequently money, because I think that money also can play into your mental health. I just want to talk to you about my goals. This video is clearly titled 2023 Goals, and I am not a believer in long intros, so let's jump into it. If I'm honest, I've actually been kind of indifferent about the new year, and it's been really hard to start filming again, and I feel kind of bad about that. This is my dream. Technically, I am living my dream. You know, this dream of mine has been to be here on YouTube with you guys full time, and while I've been doing lots of shorts, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, it's been really hard to sit down and record a long form video. And so I'm extremely happy to tell you that I've kind of come out of that a little bit, and I'm happy to be here. So this year I was really thinking through, what exactly am I after? What do I want to say are my New Year's resolutions or my goals? And if I'm honest with you, I couldn't really figure out if there was anything that I even wanted to say was a New Year's resolution or a goal or anything really. I just sat in this indifference. But then I realized that I have grown. I've grown a lot in the last few years. We moved to India in 2021. It is now 2023. And I've actually grown leaps and bounds since we got here. I've learned about so many things, and I have so many things that I could spew out to you, but they're really not important. The biggest thing is that I saw growth in myself, and my biggest goal is that I continue to grow. And I have several things that I want to grow in. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 different areas in my life that I want to continually and continuously grow in over the next year. So the first one that I want to mention is I want to grow in my mind or in my mindset. And with that, I mean things like reading books, which clearly I have an affinity for. I want to continue reading books, not only that I enjoy, that entertain me, but also books that challenge me to be a better person, a better friend, person, someone that's more open and has a better understanding of just different situations and circumstances. I think books have been proven to show us that we can put ourselves, if we can read and hear a story, we can put ourselves into those people's lives, and it actually gives us just more empathy for people. I'm not sure if I need more empathy, but I love that quality of myself. I love that I'm empathetic, and the more that I learn and know about different circumstances and situations, the more empathetic I can be towards others. So I always want to be growing in reading books that challenge me as a person. I also think that somewhere in here, this is where I would put going to therapy consistently, and I've made it a point this year to go about every 2 to 3 weeks. That's been a really great time frame for me, and it's helping me work through some really difficult things that, have happened. Honestly, we all have stuff, and it's a matter of how we look at that stuff. Can we see that as something good, or can we say, hey, that kind of sucked, but I'm better for it? We all have to be able to find that in our own right. And for me, that's been going to therapy, and that's been super, super helpful for me. Something else that I've talked about at large is journaling. So one way that I want to continue to grow is by journaling. I want to be able to look back and see how much progress I've made over the year by journaling. And I don't think it has to be perfect journaling. I think it can be every other day, or it can be once a week. I just think that as long as there is some regularity to it and some consistency to it, that this is a great practice. So I'm going to be doing that. The other thing is really going to be a measure of growth for me, and that's staying clean and organized. Now, before I get any miscommunication going on here, let me explain just a little bit. There are 2 differences between me and my husband. Well, there's this main difference between me and my husband. The biggest thing is that when I say, hey Ryan, let's go clean X, Y, or Z, he will just tidy an area. He will take things off of surfaces it'll have the illusion of cleanliness. When I clean, I am very particular. I want all the dust off of things. I want all of the baseboards cleaned. I want everything to be put in a place that it's supposed to go in, not just a random place that was picked for it to be out of the way, and then I can't find it again, in 2 or 3 days when I need it. One of the ways that I want to do this is by staying organized, and that's really going to be a large effort for both of us. Also means that I will just have to have a really good understanding of scheduling some time to reorganize and declutter. I don't think this is a one and done kind of a thing. The older I get and the more I do this, especially because Ryan and I are both the creative types, it does mean that we have to be able to understand that we're not always going to have it together, and it's okay for us to reset. So you might see some shorts in the near future of us doing some resetting in our space. And next is embody. As you guys know, I've had some rough situations with my face and my neck. And while there has been some growth, I still get very frustrated with myself that this is not gone. You can imagine that, we're coming up on a year anniversary of all of this starting. And honestly, there are days that I'm so proud of myself because so much has gotten better. And there are days that I am so deeply frustrated that it's still happening. So one thing that I really want to prioritize with my body is really eating nourishing, wholesome foods. Fun fact, I'm gonna just blow everyone's mind. You can be vegan and eat garbage. Processed food is still processed food, whether it's made out of animal products or whether it's made out of plant products. It's still extremely processed, and ultimately, those are the things that we're trying to limit in our diet. I also want, you guys already know this if you've been following along on the shorts, I want to be moving my body as much as possible. And the idea here isn't that I'm doing things perfectly, that my form is pristine, but it's that as I continue to do this, that I see strength, that I see myself getting stronger, and that I see my body looking the way that I want it to look. And that's okay. I think it's okay that I have these desires, but ultimately I want to be able to have a strong body, a healthy body, and a hydrated body. So really working on hydrating often. So another area of my life that I would love to see growth in is in my spiritual life. I've started going to D group, which is a short name for discipleship group in the Christian community. And I am really excited to see what that looks like as I get to become closer to a smaller group of gals and just get to know them more intimately. We get to know each other more intimately, and we get to hold each other accountable and just encourage each other and spur each other along in Christ. So that is something that I'm extremely excited about this year. Another thing that I'm excited about for this is that it's actually going to help me stay in the Word. My goal is to be consistently in the Word and just listening for discernment from the Lord in different areas of my life. I believe that the more you are in the Word, the more the Word is going to impact your heart, and that it is a one-on-one relationship with the Lord, and that you can have it yourself. Yeah, so that is an area that I would love to see some growth in. And then finally, I would love to get back to serving the community. We go to church here, and at church there is something called a hospitality, and so I'm excited to start serving along people at church. We also are going to be partnering with our small group to help the marginalized move into homes that would otherwise not be able to have housing. So we're extremely excited about that. I genuinely believe that serving others is what we're called to do as Christians, and I'm excited to let that growth start happening again. Serving alongside of anyone, it's been a very long time since I've been able to serve. The next area of my life that I would love to see a lot of growth in 1 year is in my professional life. So with that, I do mean YouTube. This is a business for me. This is something that I am doing every day and I'm trying to do full time. But also, I want to continue to pursue potentially a part-time job. So I would love to see me be able to continue to grow in my skill set. I would love to continue to read books that will help me be a better leader and help me to be just a better coworker and a better employee, as well as being able just to be intentional with people. But professionally, I would love to see some growth, and I would love to specifically see areas of growth in my YouTube channel, which I'm already seeing. For the last 2 years, I feel like we've said we want to see us get to 1,000 subscribers. And for the first time, I think, ever, I actually believe that we are going to be able to make that happen and monetize our channel. That is a goal of ours. That's always been a goal of ours. Is just to monetize through Google AdSense and all of the normal things. So I would be extremely excited to see that happen. If you just heard that, that was a ball. My dog wants to play. We did get a new dog. Follow along on our shorts if you want to see our daily life. More, it's my daily life, because Ryan has really taken a step back in our YouTube and social media game. Not because he doesn't miss you guys. He still misses you. It's just better for his mental health. That is something that we are prioritizing this year. Hold one second. The last area of growth that I would love to see is financially. There are a list of things that Ryan and I have prioritized over the last few years. We bought a house, and this house needs a lot of work to stay within a budget that we wanted to stay in, which was extremely important to us. We needed to look at things that weren't brand new and in areas of the city that weren't perfect. So we do live closer to the city, which we love, and we actually love this house so much, but it does need a lot of work. So for us to be able to prioritize all of the things that we want to do, that involves us sticking to a pretty strict budget this year. So we are doing a low buy year. And in this low buy year, if you saw our last video, if you haven't, I will include it. We talked about things that we're not buying this year and what we're prioritizing. And I'm excited to share with you guys in a future video the things that we will be buying and the things that we will be really working towards. Within our savings goals, we also got a new dog, like I mentioned, and that is super exciting. But with that, we desperately have to get this fence finished. That is one of our main priorities this year, is getting a fence. I hope this gives you a little bit of understanding of what my goals this year look like. And the biggest thing that I want you to take away from this video is that you don't have to check every little thing off of your list. You can have one thing in mind, like one word or one phrase, and that can be enough. Maybe it's growth, like mine is. Maybe it's being content. Maybe it's just living in the moment. There are so many different ways that you can grow, reach these goals that you have without it being extremely specific. Now, the strategic brain in me, the very goal-oriented, business-driven person, also has goals in mind. But this year it was really important to me that I didn't focus on just career goals, because I'm learning that my life is not defined by what I do for a living. My life is defined by living for the gospel, sharing the gospel, and making sure that others are seen and feel loved in spite of maybe their situation, their circumstance. So that's what I'm after this year. I'm after growth in these 6 different ways, and I hope that you would also feel inspired to follow along. Let me know what you are doing this year for your goals. I'm excited to be back, and as always, don't forget to budget wisely, compromise kindly, and be authentically you. I cannot wait to see you until the next one. Bye, you guys.